Да наоборот, значит, да нет, что ты видишь? Да наоборот. Да наоборот, только наоборот. Наоборот, для себя, вот наоборот. Да нет. Наоборот, ну нет, понятно. Пробуем, да. Нет, много штук помню. Нет, не нормально. Ну, типа того. Ну вот это, наверное, Алло, слышно?
Это я, пока погодите. Проверка звука.
Да, здравствуйте. Слышно меня? Раз, два, три.
Очень хорошо. Понятно.
Слышно, да. Хорошо.
Так, отдаю Соню. Давайте.
Хорошо.
Там какое-то эхо небольшое, но это мы справимся, если будет.
Ага.
Если хуже будет, то не расскажем.
Ага.
Ага, все, отдаю Соню.
Отлично, хорошо. Привет, Соня. Привет, Сонечка. Как жизнь, как дела у тебя? Как твой morning time? А? Не расслышал.
Как всегда.
Как всегда. Как всегда, это значит лучше всех, да ведь? Правильно, да? Молодой. Ладно, молодой. Хорошо. Итак. Очень круто. Вот что я там и хотел-то сказать. Итак, мы на чем с тобой остановились? Что ты сегодня у нас затеял? Да. Alright, I have some music for you. Okay, very interesting, molto interessante. As you remember, yes, but I'll have to share it with you. Yes, as you remember, wait a
Мама!
Hey,
Я слышу сама!
you don't hear me? Ты что, не слышишь меня? Что, не слышно, да?
Подожди. С эхом проблемы.
Эхо, да?
Очень сильный эхо.
Ага, сейчас, секунду тогда. Сейчас я поменяю тогда. Сделаю. Сейчас. Так.
Алло.
Сейчас.
Нет, я просто тебя тестирую.
Вот, поменял микрофон, так лучше? Так, хорошо?
А теперь шум.
Ну, шумит, но как бы, насколько шумит-то? Насколько сильно? Как говорится. Сейчас я тут переустановку сделаю. Сейчас.
Нормально. Идет.
Да, идет.
Нормально.
Хорошо. Отлично.
Дальше.
Да. Headphones. Алло! Сонечка! Привет! Вот, я тебя слышу как хорошо. Ты меня слышишь?
Да.
Хорошо теперь? Нормально все слышно? Видно, слышно меня? Hey, вот он я. Yeah, very good. So, yes. Yeah, I wanted to tell something, yes. Да. I should open I should open it with like this, yeah. Okay. So as you remember, yes, it is quite an important, very important thing, yes. I want to share it with you, yes. Yeah, very nice. Be careful, anything you play, you have two moments, okay? When you play anything on the piano, yes, you are good, great, yes. I mean that you have ears, yes? So you have to listen to what you're doing, yes? You have to like it, yes? You actually don't have to like it, I mean that, oh, it is, sometimes, but you have to understand what is the feeling of what you play, for example, yes? What does it mean what you play? Like in the poetry, like in the words, you should understand that sometimes, yes, yes. So you should, yes. Sometimes you play 50-50, как бы 50 things, да, понимаешь, да? So if you are playing something, find the spirit in it, so find some soul, spirit, yes. And chord structure will help you. Chord structure, yes, yes. And sometimes we have to learn, yes, yes. You know, one very great guy, one pedagogue. Sonia, one very great guy, one pedagogue said once, да, что we have to make a soul inside, but и spirit, да, but we have to, да, soul, spirit inside, да, что такое, блин. Okay, very good. So we have, as we remember, yes, darling, my darling, I was here, there, okay. Do you see it okay, properly? You see it? Do you see it well? Okay. It is a little bit, no, it is okay, I guess. Okay, okay. Do you listen? Do you hear me? Why don't you respond? Don't you answer? Почему не отвечаешь-то? Ты меня слышишь или нет? Do you hear me? Okay, yes. Now, yes, be careful, play, understand what you play, yes? Don't just slap on it, yes? You have, when you have touch, you have like in words, yes. For example, look at this. When you are crying, you are not, понимаешь, very careful, find the spirit in your music and understand, try the song. Look at this, you are playing some music and you can use it in your proper, yes, way. All the kind, even some, strange chord, some funky man, okay, and said, oh, what is it? It sounds bad, but actually not really bad. You should understand what is inside it. What is feeling emotion of you? Emotion you inside this. Hey, do you listen? Hey, understand me? Feel me, understand. Come on. I'm talking to you. Emotion to you. Yes, don't just slap. Yeah. You should, yes. What is it what I play? Понимаешь? Не понимаешь, что ли меня? What is it what? Yes. If you don't play, yes, then don't play anything. Okay? You don't play anything then. If you don't have a right words or good words, or even don't say anything. So be very careful. Yes. Music words are constructed. If you ask me, what is it? Musician. Yeah, could you not play for a moment? Okay? Okay, very good. If you ask a musician, what is it? I'll say, okay, it is not a jazz. It is a kind of structure that is called, it has name, it is a chord cluster, blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter what it makes to my soul, to the soul of the listener, and how that is matter. And if I just slap it is broken, просто все, you have to make it better, make it properly, yes. The musical lesson will so don't be find inside, because any music structure. Very good. Okay, shall we go on? Okay, go further. Very nice. So we have very nice musicians inside. Yes, no, да. Look at this is a top наоборот. Ладно, окей. I need one more thing to tell about us, yes. Да, наоборот, да нет, ну ты вперед, не надо просто. Да, this is what we have to say here. Look, да, наоборот. Why is it stopped? One more time, please. So look at me, please. Okay, look at me. So we have some musical structure. We have to play songs today, yes, and we have to play da. Understand me? So very important, yes, because musicians they don't have rules for this da. Понимаете? Yes, some structure. So you have to, if you like something in your music, yes, some kind of music. If you play something, yes. No. If you play, it can be very fancy. Mystery, some kind of mystery. But you have to continue it. How could I continue it? I have to know the musical language to continue it. Here is example. For example, what you have developed, do well, yes, be careful, yes, listen to me, listen to music, yes, feel your da. So, listen, понимаете, be together, okay, okay. So, try to realize what you do, yes, of course, movement is important, yes, of course it is important when you play, yes, it is very awkward, yes, but, yeah, da. Listen, da, very good. Love it, yes, you have love it and понимаешь меня уже теперь, да, okay, very good, да. Now look at me, okay? So we have to some notes, okay? Because you know.
My best friend играю в ожидании. Она играет какие-то песни, потом еще какие-то.
You mean this? It is Beethoven. It's called for release. If you wish, okay, I can. Okay. I want to spoil it. So we have, musical grammar. Of course, you will play this, but it's a strong manners melody. Okay. So, musical grammar, yes, if you are a good, да, понимает. Anyway, it is, да, понимает. Да, ну надоело уже просто меня. Now, look at me, look at this, okay? Here it is, very, да, very important. Да, how the keys are situated. Keys are situated. Look at this. Keys are situated from the, as you can see. Наоборот, да. Ну вот, as you can see, it goes from the center. The center is going right. I'm here. I am showing you. Hopefully you can see it. Here is the middle C, as you can see. Okay, middle C. As we call it. It is in the middle. Yes, middle. Yeah. Well, already very good, very nice. Да, very nice. And now look at this. Where it is situated? It is situated on the elbow down below. Yes, on the narrow. Yes, it is situated right here. Yeah, it is below, and it's go. Да, понимает. It is, and so the notes I don't want you to pronounce. So it goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So it goes like this, okay? And after this it continues C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and it goes. And when you go up, yes, C, D, E, as you can see, E, yeah. And when you go down, yes, it's like a knuckle, yes, like a knuckle. And you go down, it's opposite C, B, A, G, F, as you can see. It is F. It is situated. Is the left-handed? Yes. F, E, D, C, and B, A, and so on and so forth. Okay, and they just repeat themselves. C, D, G, A, B. Okay. Yes. And backwards. B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, So 7 notes, 7 names, very simple. Yes, it's all structured and situated. You are very kind, clever. Yes. So well, that's it for this moment. And now I'll try for this. And I'll try to now. Let's try to to introduce yourself as a okay. So we can actually yes. If we know notes and you are very good in what is it? Your cheeks, yes, your cheeks are very clever. Very nice. You are cutie. Very good. So, what did I wanted to tell you? Yes, what I wanted to show you. Here it goes. Stars and stripes forever. As we For example, and this melody, as you can see, it is all it is all situated. So we have to learn it, my dear. Unfortunately, dear, or what is it? Okay. So, and one more song that you perhaps may know. Do you know this song, Amazing Grace? Yeah. Любимая песня, if you like it. You wanna learn it? Я знаю эту песню, да. Я тебе еще больше скажу. Я ее как бы как играть, я ее могу. Я смотрю вот на нее сейчас, я знаю, как ее играть. Но я знаю, как ее играть только потому, что я грамотный, понимаешь? Only because I know musical grammar. That's why, musical grammar, да, So, because, this song, is melody, okay. So, I don't want to spoil it to you, yes, but I actually will have to spoil it. You have written notes and names on your keyboard. Yes, it is like, I don't have it. Yes, it is frankly, yes. So, but because So that's why, да, that's why. Look at this, да, ну понимаете, значит. So that's how I work. This is for the left hand. This is sorry. This goes for the left hand. Okay, what is? Do you see this? And this goes for the right hand. Do you look at me? Hey, what are you doing? Awkward. What are you doing? Okay, very good. So this is for the right hand, and this is for the left. So, where are you? What are you doing? I'm talking to you. Yeah. Okay. Here it goes. Left hand with F. It is F clef. It is left. Left F left. Left. F left. Very F left. He's left F left. He's always laughing and always laughing. Yeah, he is left behind because he's like, I'm so vain. I'm left. I'm full. Hey, что ты делаешь там? What are you doing? Put it. Да. Here it goes. It is a find F on your keyboard. Find F on your. Here it goes. Наоборот, невозможно просто. Да. Okay, very good. It is F clef. It is situated on the left hand. Here it goes. Here is да. And for the right hand will да. Наоборот, да. And here is music, and that's why because I look at this clef and I see that this F. He's so I'm clef. I'm so reminded. I'm reminding you that this is F. And it is actually the true F because it is F letter. It is the ancient F letter. It's just F. It's very fancy ancient F letter. Very fancy, okay? Yeah, you already know it because you know in Gothic, yeah, very clever. They were, and after this it became just F like this. Yes, and simple F that we know today. But in ancient time there were very specific, very kind. Okay, and this is so it shows the fa note, F note, specific the genre of it. Okay, just relation. So go back. So it just standing for this F clef. So it's понятно, он тебя понял уже, да. And that's why I can find. That's why I know that this note is F. Since this note that I'm picturing you right now, да. Since this note is F. Yes, and very good, very nice. Since this note is F, and here it is, I look at the notes and I understand. Aha, this is the note next to G. Yes, this is the note. Hey, what are you doing? Да, понимает. This is the note next to G. Да какая он, да не понимает он тебя просто. So this is the F note, okay? And this is the G note. But G not the... Да, понимает. And this is the F note, yes. But there is note F. No, да ты не заткнешься, ну что такое-то? Хватит играть уже, stop playing. What are you doing? So here it goes. Look at this. Look at me. This is the F. This is the F note with the F clef. Look at me. Ну наоборот. Да, все хорошо, правильно, correct. Do you wanna play? Okay. And here is this go. And that's why наоборот. And this is why I know. See, this is F, and this is next to F. It's next to. Да не следующая она. У нас next step она. Вот она next step. Вот видишь, вот F находится на линейке. F на линейке находится. Прямо над ней. Между линейками находится следующая нота. Следующая это G нота. Она поняла тебя просто уже, да. Ну вот это она имеет в виду. Here is the first note. This is the beginning. Да, она поняла, да. Yes. Musical grammar. Да. Грамотный просто. Да. Look at me. Okay. Here it goes. Looking at the notes, I look at this and see. Ха-ха, да, поняла, наоборот. I'll count on 3 on this song, because it's right, and да. Нормально играть, значит, надо, да. Okay, here it goes. And 1, 2, and the first note is G, but G is here, да. Почему here? Потому что здесь F, а вот здесь G. Следующая ступень. G, 1, 2, G, and next note will be for the right hand, and I played it with the left hand. You are right, because it is left hand. It's written like that, for left hand, yes. So it will be great if you could respect me, you self, да. Look at me now, and now look at this. Наоборот, да нет, понял тебя. And now the next note will be, so I played the first note, here it goes, okay. And the next note, by the way, number 2 says that I'm playing with the second, not the first, not the third, not the fourth. I play with the second number finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here are my fingers, okay. Here are my fingers, they're situated, here are my fingers, they're situated on my hand, on left and on right hand, okay? Yeah, and here they are, yeah, very simple, yeah. Number 1, number 2, number 3, yes. Numbers mean, yes, very good, you are a sing player, yeah, you are good. I like it, I respect it. Да, so, да, понимаешь уже тоже, да. Stop it, да, где это? Here it goes. And my hands, look at the picture. My hands are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you see numbers are written in music, usually не проиграешь ничего уже ты, наоборот. If you, very good, yes. Very good. And you use all your 5 fingers with the, yes. And yes, there is trick, you know, to find the okay, it doesn't really matter. So I play it with, so number 2 says that I play with the left hand, with finger number 2 of the left hand. So here is left hand, here is my left hand. Hey, my left hand. Yeah, very good. And this is my number 2 finger. My number 2 finger, and I play it. Yeah, very good. Yeah. You can play anything, but it won't be a song, because you don't respect me. Да, поняла, тебя. Okay, yeah, long speech. Yes. Very good. We will play together. Okay, very nice. Now look at it. Good. So we are playing song today. Remind me later. Okay? We are playing song today. Look at me. So I play. First note is this note. That we не понимает себя просто First note is G in the bass class. G. The second note, and I played, okay. And the second note of the song, no, not this song, понимаешь. Наоборот. And the second note is C, okay? I'm just showing you. Look at me. I'm showing, I won't play it for you. I want you to play it. I'm explaining you how to understand, how to musician, yes. So, here is your, yes, this is wrong G. This is beginning of the song. Yes. Okay, and at least look at me. And here it goes. Okay. And next note will be C. Why is it? You ask me, why is it C? I don't see why it is C. I answer you, because I know the words. I know the words of music, because I know the words, because I'm a musician. And because I am a musical because I want to be respecting music, okay? I want to, yes, make good, I want me, any type of music, okay? And that's what I know it. Yes, I have to remember it, yes. So, first go, G. Yes, actually, yeah, I have to respect it too, okay. And after this, and I have to realize, and after this we have another two notes. But I have to realize that some notes, why they are different. This one is black, this one is white. And this one is with the legs below, with the, no, как это сказать, with the arrow or something, yes? What does it all means? And this is means the different rhythm and different types of singing, okay? So it means so this is was short note. This one was short, it is black. So, and this one was long, it is black. It is long. And this is called And after this, and then I have mi and do, but they are very short. That one is short and this one very short. So, do, how short? I should count to it. 1, 2, 3. One count for first note, two counts for second note. 1, 2, and these two notes goes for twice a count or twice at once. One, just one, and but actually it won't be one because it is third count of the measure. In song it is situated in the so 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So it's clap. I clap. I using the metronome. Here is my metronome. Here is my notes that are black. Here are my black notes. That is the first note. They called quarter notes. Quarter notes. They are that. So we have 1, 2, 3. This is my quarter notes. It is black notes. Sometimes, of course, not all the music so, moving, it's so fast. Yeah, some music are slower. For example, we can have music like this, for example, yeah? In this tempo, like this. It's 80 BPM if you're interested, that. And then the movement goes slower. Count, so I count that. But and sometimes music is very slow, and sometimes music is very fast. One note per count, and sometimes music is much faster. Yes, okay. Of course, you can make very good, then you have to play very quick. But even putting 2 notes or 3 notes inside the pocket will be slow, yes. And some music is very, very slow. Yes, and some music is very slow. This is a counting measure. So this one goes for 1 click. 1, 1, 1, 1. The next one goes for 2 clicks. 1, 2, because it is twice long. Because it's wide. It's called 1, 2. So first note will be 1, 1, 2. And here is the beginning. So 1, 2 clicks. 1 click, 2 clicks. 2. 1 click, 2 clicks. Hopefully you hear it. 1 click, 2 clicks. Okay. 1 click, 2 clicks. Okay, very good. And next notes. They are very short. They are very little notes and noisy. That's and these notes, they 2 notes per beat. They go. Here goes my beat. My latest beat. And this is 2 notes per beat. 2 notes per each beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. And this makes the rhythm. Yes. So here is the rhythm. Here, yes, very good. And look at this now. This is the rhythm of the melody. This one goes first note for click, second note for 2 clicks, and twice per click. And this two notes twice per click, okay? And this is goes the rhythm, twice. Ta ta. This is beginning. This is the first row of the scale, okay? Tam 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 ta ta. Gotcha? And then continues, and this I already know this note. It goes 2 clicks. So I actually responded. Look at this. So it goes 1 click. This goes 2 clicks, and this is goes 2 per click, and this is goes again 2 clicks. So look at this. So look at this with very spontaneous. Okay. Okay. Click. 2 clicks, twice per click, and 2 clicks again, and again 1 click, 2 clicks. And this is the beginning, the first trick, if you can see it, okay? Понимаю, and this note makes this note makes the bass, okay? And this note is again played with the is again bass. Very good. You are very nice. So look at this. And now I can make the rhythm. Look at me now. Look at me. Here's my clicks. Here my clicks go. 1, 2 clicks, twice per click. Раз, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And guess what? Guess what? It is almost rhythm of the melody. Okay, could you repeat it with me? Okay, just for me, just for all. Repeat the rhythm. So this, repeat it with your claps. Yeah, musician train. Yeah. Very good, very nice. So as you So as you respected, 1 click and then 2 clicks. If you have a metronome, you can turn it on and try it with a clap. Okay, because I heard your metronome is off. So, понимаю, But it is easy to respect, to understand them, yes. Maybe we'll try with the metronome. So it makes the rhythm. I'm just clapping the rhythm. I don't want you Okay, could you clap it with me? Okay? Just with counting, okay? This one goes for 1. 1! Repeat it. First one goes for 1. Clapping, clap. Okay, very nice. And count. 1. Да, я не слышу. I don't hear you counting. 1.
1, 2.
No. Yeah. 1 is enough. Very good. But we have, yes. Oh, stop it. Very good. But count, we need only 1 note now. We are trying to make the rhythm of the song. Yeah, you get me. So now, very good. You now understand. This is you understand. And now look at this rhythm of the song. So we count 1. Что так не понимает себя, Наоборот, Now look at me. So 1. I count. Все. And shut up. Do it with me. Okay. Наоборот. Окей, что ты там ходишь? Count with me, окей. Ну, начнешь заниматься, нет когда-нибудь наоборот. Repeat after with me, блин. Окей. Окей, very good. Да, наоборот. Да, наоборот. Да. As you can see, да, понимаю, да. If you wanna play notes, there is no escape. Ладно. Don't be afraid. Okay. So there is two types. And two types. Да. So here is I'm да наоборот так. Я не хочу тебе играть песню. I don't wanna play your song because I want you to read this song. Да, because you are a grammar. At least help me. Да. Because it is да. Yes. Да наоборот. Now look at me. Да наоборот. Are you alright? Да, понимаю. Вот наоборот. Да. Переключи на другую уже свое хозяйство, да. Ну ладно, да. Okay, here goes the melody song, right? Here goes the very quicker, да. Very quicker, да. Да, вот это она имеет в виду. Чем есть, ну вот это и есть. Ну ладно, да. Ну пусть так же, да. Вот это имеет в виду, да. Ладно. Я договорюсь с ней, подчиненная. Хорошо. Ну наоборот, значит, да. Ну надо. Тирания. Да. Ку-ку. Very nice. Yeah. Yes. Да. So we need гимнастика, гимназиум. So, что такое? Да, here is our hand, here is our fingers. Yes, and if it is important for you, да. So all the notes are situated here, да? So any melody, I'm looking at the notes and I'm seeing, yes, and the notes and chords and, you know, and any melody I can see. I see the counting 4 to 4. So here goes the melody. As you can see, there is only one streak with the melody, yeah? So it goes fourth to fourth. Да, понимаете. Where is the... Где эта штучка-то?
Yes.
Да, ну понимаете, да. Вот это есть. Long time, 3. Okay, I just wanted you to respect it, да. Wanted you to respect all this stuff, да. Yes, here goes our musical class. And how it's created. You know, very good. All the musicians, even not music, if even good girls, want to play very good. To play very good, then you have to know grammar. To grammar, yes, grammarly. Okay, very nice. And where is my no? Yes, here is the notes. Here are the notes on the piano. How they are. So as you can see, you are all written on your piano. Yeah, and so you got D, E. As you can see, they are middle. They are clustered like middle C, middle A, middle D. Yeah, you understand me? Yeah. And look at the F clef, very pulsative, very fat F clef. Oh, I'm so fat. Because I'm down below. Yes. And here it goes. So the notes of the bass clef are there: F, G, A, B, C, D, F, G, A, B, and we are in the middle C. And the E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, G, and so on. Yeah. So we can go further if you add some, some lines. Sometimes you have to add something. Okay, very good. So this is how it goes, and that's why it is bass clef. It is because situated on the note below, on the note F. Because it's F. Bass clef. You can find it easily from me. For the mountain. Very good, yeah. So, Да, молодая просто, да. Ты хорошо играешь, хорошая, да. Very good. Don't worry, she's good. Да. Be very careful. And look at this. This is very fancy, very fancy. This is all the clefs but very respondent to you. There are many notes, as you can see. All the notes are collected in the in the nearer down below, okay? And опа, так ты же не то показываешь, да нет, поняла на тебя, да, кстати, точно. Я же и не то показал, ведь, да. Ну вот наоборот, да, ну вот это и есть. So, вот, ну нет. 5 что ли? Okay, I'll just save you the song, okay? Save you the song. Сейчас я тебе покажу. Сейчас I'm showing you the song. Look at me now. Look at this. Да. Okay. Very good. Yeah. Yes, and you will be able to read it. Yes, of course. Here it goes. I wanted you to realize. Here it goes. So 3, 1, 2. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Going to left hand. That saved a wretch like me. And very, very long bow streak. 1, 2. I once was lost, but now. And going to the left hand. I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And with both hands, okay? And that's how it goes. I didn't know that, didn't realize it, yeah. So that's how 1, 2, 6, yes. And I want to arise, how sweet the sun. Going to the left. Second right, a wretch like me is very long. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And two hands together. That's how it goes, yeah. and any musical notes, all this stuff. That. So yes, I have to understand how to do this, how this deals with this counting and this everything. Yes, it's very good, very good. Your main solution. And your song, I saw your song. You actually can make it with this song. Yes, just have to count it. Yes, have to count and find the correct notes with your counting. This one goes for one count. This one for quarter. This one for half. Yeah. I got you. This one for half. You show me the song, but I don't know, don't realize. Yes. So we put it together. We put it alone. Okay. We put it alone. Okay. You are very good and nice. I like you. I enjoy. Yes. And I enjoy your music. Don't be shy. Don't be worried because you have to worry about. Don't be worried. Have a beauty. Very beauty. Have a beauty. Very beauty instrument. Very beauty. Yeah, don't slap. Just respect it. You know, there was respect it. Love it. Instrument. Love it. Okay, love it. Да, понимаете. Да. You are very such a nice guy. Да, понимаете. Да, маленький. Молодец. Да. Very good. You are respecting, да. Love it, да. And make it careful, да. Don't, да. Make it careful. Take care of it. Nicer. Better than kittens. No, I mean, да, kittens, but alive. Yes. Because if you slap it, that will cry. Yes. You have to move it. Yes. Have to move it. Have to put it very carefully. And then you will find the source. Yes, and yes, you actually try music, yeah. With your both hands, да. Just use your left hand often, try it, okay? Try to separate them a little bit, yes, and try to finish what you started. Try to finish. Yeah, да, поняла, наоборот. Try to finish, my darling. My darling, do you hear me? Try to finish. Don't just slap or something. Yeah, try finish it. Find the view and slide down. Да. Понимаешь? You understand? Да. You're a beauty, nice. Да. You're русский, yes, I know, русский, okay, very good русский, да. Because music is much better. Молодец, все, поехали. Все, пока. Бай, Сонечка. Спасибо тебе да. Спасибо. Все, люблю тебя, да, все. Будь respectful. Bye. Very good, very nice. Bye. Супер, да. Супер. Пока. Да. Не знаю, я тоже. Традиционная техника образования просто. Да. Ну, там просто тоже. То есть как бы тоже работа. Я тоже так думаю, да, согласен. Поэтому надо. Ничего, все на минуту. Можно было одной рукой играть. Вот это вот не надо прикольно. Да, долгая история. Вот это. Нет, ну так уж. Да. Так, что было? Ну да, много просто, да. Это да, это из слова, да. Что, все что ли? Ты даешь, блин. Да, кстати. Хочет играть в игры, ты не издеваешься, так и нет.
играть тогда уже все, да. Хватит уже, хватит. Баста, басти. Почему? Бастион. Как это басти? Еще ничего не играл, да? Придумай какую-то идею у тебя. Ну ладно, что ты говоришь? Хорошо. Ну что дальше? Ну, себе я так думаю, наоборот, да, да. Да. Так я знаю, что значит дальше. Хорошо, более адекватно, как можно еще. Я не хочу никаких политик устраивать, да, то есть, да, ну да, хорошо, да. И это не всегда полезно, и не то, что там, да, ну хорошо, да, ну 50 на 50 может быть, да. Да, хорошо. Потом, да. И сам говоришь, да. Ну как бы как, это же интересно даже. Ну что значит бредовый грех? Да, не помню, народ. Вот Яков Курьер, например. Много же чуваков поясняли. Ну это вообще говорю, сейчас в целом. То тебе ничего не говорит, если даже другого. Может быть, как-то. Вот, возможно, даже так, но это немножко. Или так. Игорь. Игорь. О. Hey, what was this? What was this stuff? Кстати, ладно, питался. Китан, эти сволочи меня опять отключают. Ну, так вот, будет всех говорить. Мама большая тоже. Всех не покормишь, не сразу не. Ладно. Чандра. Большая съедобность. Большая съедобность. Ладно. Вот мы сделаем. Съел, вот, съел. Окей.
Are you feeling heartbroken over a copyright claim on your latest video? Look, it's not you, it's YouTube. Here's the deal, guys. There's new laws that are coming out that are forcing YouTube and other social media platforms like Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram to be more strict with their copyright flags. So don't let your video get taken down. Sign up for Soundstripe today.
Every now and then, you'll come across a chord progression that is so well constructed, you'd sell a body part just to have written it yourself. But fortunately, I found out you don't have to cut off body parts just to write good chord progressions. One thing I like to do is take those perfect progressions that I found, spend a little bit of time analyzing them, try to figure out what makes them tick, what makes them work, how they're affecting your mood when you hear them, and how they relate to the theory that you already know. And then after you've done this, you kind of have some new tricks up your sleeve. Hopefully some new ideas that kind of give you that sound that you were so attracted to when you first heard that chord progression. So in this video, what I want to do is really walk you through what I would consider to be a perfect chord progression and take a look at all the theory that I kind of pay attention to when I see something like that and how it all kind of fits together. So this is really a lesson on how chords and music feel and how it relates to us. But we're also going to need a lot of music theory for this. So as I mentioned the theory involved, if you ever get lost, just check the description. I've done videos on nearly every concept I'm about to talk about in this video, so you should be able to check those other videos and stay up to date with the things I'm talking about here. The song is Bruno Mars' When I Was Your Man. And I want to first take a look at the centerpiece of this song, which is the chorus. It's 16 measures long. We've got 4 measures of 4, and it's in the key of C major. But I just want to play through it and sing it first. You're going to have to bear with my singing. I'm going to have to drop it down an octave. So here's what it'll sound like. I'm just going to strum the chords in half notes, and you'll see the chords up on screen. And as I do this, I kind of want you to try to put your own interpretation on it. What are you seeing here? What key are we in? What are the function of these chords? Where do these chords come from? I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. Should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. Taking you to every party, cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. So, to me that is just literally a perfect set of chords. And I do want you to see how it starts off in its simplicity, right? You might recognize this right off the bat as 4, 5, 1 in the key of C. We're in the key of C major, and we do our subdominant, we do our dominant, we do our tonic. 4, 5, 1 is like nursery rhyme stuff. This is like the oldest chord progression of the book. This is like your first day of music theory, right? 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1. So there's nothing special about that. Nothing unique about that. But look what we do with it. We give it to you 2 times. We serve it up twice. I should have got you flowers and held your hand. And now again, should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. So now you've been conditioned to hear it a 3rd time. And we're going to even start it off the same. Taking you to every party because all you wanted to do was. But instead of getting the tonic C major, dance. Get that really sad A minor effect coming through. So when you're coming from that 5 and resolving to the 6, you hear that as called a deceptive cadence. But to me it's like doubly deceptive here because we've really fooled you into thinking we're going to go 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 6. And I think that really kind of adds the first part of heartache in the chorus, right? The chorus has been kind of light, kind of lovey-dovey, but now we've finally got a little bit of darkness. And what I really love is what we follow that darkness up with. Just a big splash of brightness to a D major, which is totally out of the key. There is no D major in the key of C major. So where did D major come from? D major comes from a few different places you can think of it. I like to think of this major 2 chord, right? The 2nd note of C is D. If I build a major chord off of that, we just call it a major 2. I like to think of this as being borrowed from C Lydian. In the C Lydian tonality, I have a C major and a D. And that D always provides a really kind of inspirational bit of brightness here for me. So that's how I see that D major coming in. You could also think of this D as being a secondary dominant though. We've talked about secondary dominants, and D would be the dominant chord of G. So it would pull us back to G, but we don't use it like that here. What we do in this case, we go from the 4 to the 5 to that 6, bring in that D, and then that takes us to our 4 chord. So it's not functioning as a secondary dominant. It's functioning as just a nice little piece of brightness, a little ephemeral burst of light through this kind of murky chord progression. So like I said, after that major 2 chord, we're following up with the major 4, the diatonic 4 chord, and then we do that classical trick where we borrow the 4 chord from C minor instead. So another borrowed chord here. In the key of C minor, we have an F minor, and that's the 4 chord in C minor. And this is the most this is another huge cliche. If you're in the key of C, you go to your 4 chord and you borrow the 4 chord. And it gives you that heartbreaking little effect. I did a video just on that 1 chord progression, the minor plagal change. So if you put it together, you got your 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 6 to that 2, the brightness to the 4, and then you let them down, and then you get back to C. And I think that is just brilliantly constructed. Now let's talk about this verse section. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. And we're still in the key signature of C major, but our tonality is a little bit more ambiguous now. C major really doesn't always feel like home. In this case, our relative minor, which is A minor, starts kind of competing for our tonal center. And this gives us this kind of in-between effect of major and minor. It doesn't really sound happy and bright like major, and it does start encroaching upon that darker minor feel. So it starts off on an A minor chord. It sounds something like this. Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. So you can hear there, we started on an A minor, and then we instantly got to our tonic, C major. So this should feel like home base, but as soon as we got there, we slipped you right into this D minor. And that kind of keeps C major from feeling too much like home. Now when you play this G chord, you think this G is going to pull us back to C, right? That's the dominant chord. It should take us back to C, and it does. It lands us there. But as soon as we get there, we start slipping away right back to land into that A minor home bass instead. So what we're doing there is we've got the C major, and then if you just put the leading tone on the bass, if we just play a C over B, you get this chord, which is very similar to a G over B. Here's a G over B, and here's what I'm doing. It's basically a C over B. It's got the same effect of taking you to A minor. So starting on the tonic, playing the tonic over the leading tone, takes you to the 6th chord. The variation you often see on this is to take your tonic, then to play your 5 chord and just invert it, and then go to your 6th chord. Nice little way to bridge that gap into A minor. So we've done that as soon as we got back to the tonic. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. And it just takes us right back to land into A minor to keep things kind of out of our grasp, right? C major kind of just feels like it's always just a little bit out of reach. We don't ever get to stay there long enough to feel secure there. So that's why I feel like this verse has kind of that really kind of morose, somber attitude to it. I don't really want to call it A minor, and I really don't want to call it C major, even though that's clearly the key signature. I feel the tonality is just a little bit wishy-washy here. Now that chord progression happens twice, and the second time, as you slide into that A minor, you end up staying on A minor for an extra measure to really darken things up. And then the darkest chord for the first time, we hear that E minor in the song. That's the diatonic 3, the median chord. And it really, to me, puts the black clouds over the horizon right there in that moment. You've also got some falsetto singing, some oohs with reverb. I think that helps kind of darken up this moment just a little bit, that minor chord. So we've got an A minor to our E minor, and then here's the real joy chord, here's the real magic trick chord. We go straight to a B flat major. Too dumb, too young to realize. And it takes you to a G suspended to go back to G. So where the heck did B flat come from? Right, that's a tritone away from E. Here's E minor, and we jumped up a tritone to get to B flat, and that's a very disruptive chord, but I absolutely love the effect here in this song. It's this very quick little inspirational moment, and you can feel a little bit of hope, a little bit of optimism. And the way I see the function of this B flat is coming from C mixolydian. In the key of C major, in the key of F major, which would be the same thing as C mixolydian, we have this B flat, right? So in C mixolydian, I can go C, E flat, C. And that's a pretty common thing to do, is to borrow the flat 7 major chord. And in my opinion, that's really just the only function here, where it's not a tritone substitution, it's just a really good usage of a disruptive and surprise borrowed chord that can take us to our 5 chord, our dominant chord, to take you to C. But they don't take you to C. Remember, the chorus starts on F, so it kind of takes us a little while to get to our tonic in C. So just more delayed gratification through the use of these chords. Now there's a nice little bridge section in this song as well, and we start off on the 4 chord. Bridges a lot of times don't start on the tonic chord, they'll start on something like you know, something other than the 1 or the 6. And that way it kind of prepares you for this long journey to get back to one of those tonics. So we've got F for 2 measures, and then we've got this G for 2 measures, and then we've got a classical walk down. We'll do our C, and then we'll do our G over B, and then we'll do an A minor, and then we'll do a G major. So you can see the bass just walks down there, C, B, A, G, and that usually kind of gets you ready for an F, but they're going to play a trick on you here. They're going to do the C, B, G over B, A minor, G. They bring in that borrowed 2 chord, huge flash of brightness, and then this is what's really mind-boggling to me, following that right up afterwards with a D minor 7. So we went from a D major to a D minor 7, and that's going to take us to our 5 chord again to help us go to our final chorus. To me, it's very strange to see major and minor chords right next to each other like that aren't in the 4 position. You see it a lot in the 4 chord. We already saw it, right? We went from F major to F minor. But here, we're off of the 2 position. In the key of C major, all of a sudden to see a D major and a D minor 7, I find pretty strange. So I actually kind of think of this D minor 7 as just being an F over D. To me, that makes more logical sense. I don't really care what you call it, and I don't know if I'm missing something on the functionality of this, but to me, it feels like a 4 chord. The 2 chord, this D minor 7, includes a lot of the notes of my F chord. So I'm really thinking of this, me personally, I'm thinking of it as borrowing the 2, and then going to a 4 with D on the bass to take me to my 5. That to me functions more traditionally than taking a 2 chord that's major and then taking a 2 chord that's all of a sudden minor and then going to the 5. Even though that totally works fine, you can think of it either way. Now this last chorus provides some really great contrast to our previous choruses. The melody slightly changes, the lyrics slightly change, and the chords slightly change. So now when this D comes up, he's singing, "These are all the things I should have done," to the F minor, "when I was your man." Now normally we end there, but we can bring in that D again to kind of clue us off again, to bring it in, "These are all the things I should have done when I was your man." So you give them the double ending like that by bringing in that surprise 2 again to once again resolve to that F, to the F minor, and then back to C. And the last thing we have to talk about the song is the intro, which I find really funny. Remember that weird thing I told you about D major to D minor 7 to C? Well, that's basically the intro. The weirdest thing, in my opinion, in the song, they put right at the beginning of the song. It starts off with a D7, and then an F over a D, and then to C major. And then again, D7, F over D, and then C major. And you can hear this little chromaticism. That's what gives it its interest. You've got this F sharp, you've got an F natural, and then you've got an E. Coincidentally, that's also kind of very similar to what we're hearing when we play F major to F minor to C major. There we're getting an A natural and an A flat to a G. So they almost function the same, right? Listen, here's D7, D minor 7, C major. To me, that's almost a cousin to F major, F minor, F major to F minor. So hopefully this isn't too weird for you. I know I put a lot of subjective, adjectives on the way I hear these things and describe these things, but it's the only way I can teach this stuff, is how it relates to me. And, I really encourage you to put your own assignments to these things. If I say something's bright and you hear it more as surprising, then definitely use that word, because that's how you're hearing it. But the important thing is to start really labeling the emotions that you're hearing and link them to the music theory you have. Because now I can kind of pull these tricks back up. I can say, hey, in that Bruno Mars song, every time I heard that major 2 chord, I really got like a sense of optimism, a sense of something good might happen. Now in this case, they took it away from you immediately. They give you some optimism, they pull it away from you. They give you that kind of, mournful love song in this case. But I know now that, hey, anytime I want to bring in some brightness and some optimism, I can bring in that major 2 chord, and I can go several ways with it. I could treat it like a secondary dominant, resolve it to its parent chord, or I could just treat it like a borrowed chord and kind of go anywhere with it as long as it works, as long as I like the way it sounds. Also, a thing that I think is worth learning from this song specifically is that tonal ambiguity, right? We're in the key of C major, but our verse doesn't start on C major, our chorus doesn't start on C major, our bridge doesn't start on C major, but there's moments in the song where C major feels like home base, and then we've got a lot of kind of confusion there where A minor starts, doubling as our home base as well. And the effect that gives us is a lack of a happy, bright, major tonal center. We start kind of, going in between worlds there. And I think that's a good composition lesson to learn. Is, if things are sounding too much in one direction, try to conceal your tonic. Try to take away the value that your tonic has, and try to denigrate your tonic. And it might start creating a little tastes of those other modes. And the last thing I think is worth saying here on this song specifically is that it's just Bruno and a piano. That's it. It's pretty hard to write a hit song with 700 million views on YouTube that is just two instruments. A lot of times you need support. You need bass players, you need guitarists, you need drums. This is just very bare. And I think what supports so well is this perfect chord progression. Obviously, you've got an amazing singer with Bruno Mars. The structure of the song, I think, is flawless. It's got everything where it needs to be. It's got all the cliches I love, and none of them are overdone. So I can't say a bad thing about this song. To me, this is the fun thing about music theory. We've spent all this time learning about scales and modes and secondary dominants and chords. Well, this is why we've learned it all, is so we can better understand the music we enjoy, and we can better write music that we enjoy. We can take these things and apply them. So this is a new kind of video for this channel, and I haven't done anything like this before, but it definitely builds off of all of the knowledge that we have developed before. So if you like this video, if this is the kind of video you'd like to see more of, just let me know in the comments, and I can do more of these going forward in the future. Thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers for making this video possible, and I will see you guys next time.
Olá, eu sou o Elber Santiago, sou ilustrador, escritor e professor. Trabalhei
previous episodes of this series, we've kept things pretty tame when it comes to time signatures. And what I'd like to do in this video as we explore the Phrygian mode is really expand our horizons when it comes to playing with time. So we're going to experiment with really abstract versions of 4/4, and we're also going to explore some actual odd time signature as well, all while revolving everything around the Phrygian mode. Before we get started writing, let's talk a little bit about Phrygian. Phrygian is just a minor scale with a flatted second instead of a natural second. And I chose the key of C sharp Phrygian. I have a 7-string guitar, and starting here on C sharp gives me these notes right here. And you can hear I've got a root, a flat 2, a flat 3, a 4, a 5, a flat 6, and a flat 7. And the reason I picked C sharp is that I can also play my flat 7 down on my low B string. So I figured it would be a nice option to come down to that low note. If I chose B Phrygian, well, I mean, that would be fine. I could play in B Phrygian, but then I wouldn't be able to go lower to my flat 7. And I like to be able to kind of hover around above my tonic and below my tonic. And something like C sharp Phrygian is going to give me a nice access to my flat 7 and my flat 2. Now, Phrygian is the third mode, and we're starting on the note C sharp. So to figure out what major key we are actually in, you just have to think about jumping back a major third. And so we're starting on the major third of some major scale. So let's just count back a major third from C sharp, and you'll realize that takes us to the note A. So when we are writing in C sharp Phrygian, we are really using all the notes of A major, we're using all the chords of A major, but instead of focusing on the note A, we're going to focus on the note C sharp, the third note. Now before I begin writing, I like to have a general idea or vision of what I'm going for. And in this case, I didn't really have any inspiration. So I just picked up my guitar and I was thinking about Phrygian and its properties, and the flat 2 is really what rings out to me more than anything else. It's the most defining characteristic of Phrygian is that flat 2. So I thought, well, let's just play a root and a flat 2 in a higher register. So here's a D and here's a C sharp, and we'll just pedal between those two notes to create one of the best sounds you can possibly make on an electric guitar. Just sustained minor seconds with distortion on them. And it's this completely haunting horrible sounding, impending doom kind of sound. And I figured that would be a great way to start off this track. And that helped me start getting some inspiration, some ideas going. With that droning D and C sharp, I felt like we could easily insert some really chaotic, pulsating rhythms underneath that using just the notes C sharp and D. Now, I didn't seem to be getting anywhere just writing riffs on my guitar, so I decided to just go for some Morse code rhythms. That's a pretty popular thing to do. I'm certainly not the first one to do it. The most famous example is Rush's YYZ. That's all written as Morse code, just translated into music. And there's no one way you can do this. There's many ways we could take Morse code and translate it into music. So here's what I did. First, I needed a really terrifying message, something that's going to just instill fear into the hearts of people. So I chose the phrase, "I love you." Now, anytime we have a dot, I chose to just represent that with a single 16th note. If there's a space in between words, I represented that with an 8th note rest. A single dash is going to be represented by a single 8th note. And if there's a gap between two letters, I'll represent that with a 16th note rest. Now at the very end, I had a little leftover time, and I figured I would just stretch it out to meet the end of a 4/4 measure. And that gave me this rhythm. Now that was a little too fast for my liking, and it sounded a little too crazy, so I just slowed it down to 104 beats a minute. And then I decided to layer a steady half note or a steady quarter note underneath that on a kick drum, just so we could hear how that rhythm floats over a steady 4/4 pattern. Now right now I'm doing this all on the note C sharp, but I decided to add in the note D as well, and I just peppered it in where I thought it might work well. A lot of times I used it on the last note of each one of these phrases. So, if we turn on the metronome, try to count that rhythm at the same time that we play that rhythm, what we get is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E, 2 E, a 3 and 4 and E and a 2, and 4 E, and 2 and E and a 1 E, 2 E, a 3 and 4 and E and a 2, and 4 E, and 2 and E and a. So it's a pretty disjointed rhythm, but it makes sense because we've got that steady 4/4 pulse going underneath it. And what I think is nice here is that it's not just 4/4, it's 3 measures of 4/4, which is slightly weirder than 4 measures of 4/4. We normally see things blocked in 4. So we're getting into some kind of weird territory here by having a really crazy rhythm that's blocked into 3 measures of 4/4. So that idea took a while to get just right, but then I was able to stretch it into several different sections for my song.
работу. Сам понимаю. Птица по небу летит. Кар. Серьезно, знаешь, серьезно, понимаешь? Я тебе реально говорю, да, можно во всем много, да, понимаю. Ну да. Не, я один, я вообще никто, как бы. Я сам по себе вообще никто. Как бы так, не очень хорошо говорить. Мне сам денег не дают. Ну так, особо. Не знаю, Надо петь просто тебе и все. Ну, нет. Ну, нет, наоборот, значит петь когда. Ну, наоборот, напиши, вот, да. Ладно. тебе такая петь просто туда. Надо папку там делать себе, да. Нормально играть, значит нормально играть, да. Нормально играет, да, да. Пора, значит, да. Нормально. Нормально играть, значит надо, нормально, да. Нормально. Играй, значит нормально, да. Он тебе просто говорит. Наоборот, значит, папка у тебя папка какая-то. Папка там! Там нету папки там. Вот это и было самое. Взорвили. Не надо мне это самое делать. Пахоту это Да, вот он.